Hello, good afternoon. In this short introduction, in the first step, what we're going to do is we're going to play the role of a document controller, as we can see in the top right. And being the document controller, we've just been assigned a new project, and we first need to schedule the initial deliverables for this particular project. So we've arrived in the actual project itself. So this is one project. And when we opened the project for the first time, we can see that there are no documents in it at all. So the project is opened. I see the dashboard, and there is no projects, no documents at all. So in order to schedule those initial documents, what we're going to do, we're going to go into bulk, and we're going to create our load sheet to schedule those deliverables. I'll call this second set of deliverables. I'm going to hit next. And what this will do, this will provision essentially an empty load sheet for us so that we can plug and play and copy and paste the documents for us. So when we open that up, we can see that a default spreadsheet has been created. And by simply opening that up, what we're going to do is just copy and paste information in there. I'm going to drag that over. So here it is. So what this allows us to do is to essentially not only schedule deliverables up front for internal documents that we need to deliver, the internal records, but what we can also do is schedule external documents or documents that need to be provided by a vendor, or transmittal packages that we know that need to go out, like on certain due dates. Those can all be sent. So what we'll do, we'll just say these are for instrumentation. Let me do a quick check here. Instrumentation. Nope, sorry, my mistake. Equipment, that's the one that I wanted to assign it to. Equipment, and then what we'll do, we prepared a little bit of the data so we can just copy paste. Here we go. And then we're just going to paste these as values. All right. So what this has done, it essentially plugged in all of the sort of default data that we need in order to get this going. But what we also did is on the right-hand side is that we've plugged in all of the initial dates for when these files need to be started. So the due date for when the document needs to be started, when it's due for internal review, when it's due for interdisciplinary check, for approval, for construction, and ultimately the final issue date for when things need to be completed. Right, so these are all the same documents, so we'll just leave it at this, and then drag these down. And with this, we essentially set up the load sheet as we need it. So we're going to save it. And once we've saved it, all we need to do now is hit the import button. And this will actually load these records into the system. This will take a minute or so before everything is done. But if we go ahead and take a look, and we'll start to look at equipment, at all revisions, we can see that some of them are now actually being loaded with the document number, the title, et cetera, et cetera. Right? So these are essentially the placeholders that are now being generated by the system for us to be used. So in the next session, we're going to take a look at how an engineer needs to submit it. And then we're going to launch into a review with multiple disciplines so that we can move this forward to then eventually end up sending this out to our customer. All right, that's our first session.